Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a beginner's tutorial for you on some brows. So this video is specifically geared towards beginners. If you are a pro at brows or you feel pretty confident, this might be a little bit repetitive for you. This one's going to be a little bit more in depth, but this actually is the current way that I'm doing my brows. It's just really basic. I just kind of slap them on, and I've been using a pencil. This is a really easy way to do it, and it looks totally pro, like you've been doing this forever. So if you are new at brows, don't get discouraged. It definitely does take time to find the right shape for your face and the right technique for you. This is the way I do it, and I found that this is literally the easiest way to do it with a pencil. So if you're a beginner or you've just been trying to figure out how to use a brow pencil, you have found the right video. So if this is the first time you are stumbling upon my channel, hi, welcome. I would love for you guys to click the subscribe button and join the family. That way you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without talking too much longer here in the intro, we're just gonna get right into the tutorial. So the brow pencil I've been using is the one from IT Cosmetics. This is the Brow Power Pencil. It has a spoolie on one end and then the flat pencil head on the other. I just use the shade Universal Taupe. The first thing that I do is I comb through that unfortunate patch of hair above my eyeball before I get started to see where really needs the extra attention and what needs to be filled in, which is basically everywhere, so let's just be real. The first thing I'm doing is starting off in hair-like strokes around the area that I actually do have hair. So everybody's brows are going to be different. Hopefully yours are better than mine, but I'm basically just going through and evening out the tone of my brows and just really lightly filling that in. Since I don't have a whole lot of hair to work with, I want to make sure that the front of my brows look fairly natural. So I'm not putting too much darkness up right there at the front. I'm letting those hairs that I do have show through to give the illusion that I do have full brows. So I'm just going to continue in hair-like strokes on the part that I do have, and then we will move on to the shape next. So it's really important for me to continue to comb through my brows as I do them to make sure the hairs stay in the shape that I want them in, as well as making sure that I fill in any areas and don't have to go back at the end and redo. For the shape of my brows, I start at the bottom and then I fill in at the top. So I just continue on that line where my natural brow should go, or I think it should go. It actually is a quite harsh line, my natural ones are. That's why I have them shaped this way. And then I also continue the top to make kind of like an elongated triangle, and then I slowly fill that in with hair-like strokes as well. You want this part to look as natural as possible if you have no tail to your brow like I do. If you do have hair in this area, it's going to be so much easier, but just to make it look as natural as possible, I always use little short strokes so that it's not perfectly filled in. So this is my personal preference. I kind of like a sharper line at the bottom of my brows, especially since I did a dark makeup look today. But if you prefer a more natural bottom edge, you can skip that step entirely. And then I just comb through once more to make sure I didn't miss any spots. And you can see here is the first part of my brow transformation. So the next thing I'm going to do is pull out my concealer so we can clean up any little mistakes here or there. So this is just the one I'm using today. I like the liquid one so I can dip my brush into it and get a really precise line. This is the brush I'm using. It is a brush from a face painting kit, but you can literally use any concealer brush. And then I'm just going to put a small dab on the back of my hand, keeping that brush really flat. I'm going to coat both sides to make sure that I keep that point and the line that I get when I'm concealing is as precise as possible. So in really short strokes, you want to be careful with this because you can get carried away and then ruin everything you just did. So just really carefully underlining that bottom part of my brow so that I get a really nice clean edge. Once you have that initial concealer line, make sure to drag that down just a little bit and then blend it out with your finger. You don't want to have just a really stark concealer line, otherwise it just makes your brows look fake and kind of ruins everything you just did, especially if you're wanting them to look really nice and natural. So if you do choose to line the top, totally wipe off your brush and pretty much just drag any product left over around the top just to clean that up. It's really hard to get a natural looking carved out look at the top, so the less product on your brush the better, and then just go back and clean up any spots that you see. For me, I like to powder over my brows just to make sure that they stay, especially because I don't have a tail. If it rubs off, it is a horrible situation for me, so I like to make sure that they stay the best I can get them to stay. So I always powder over, and then I just take a brow gel. Any brow gel works. I just got this in a Ipsy bag, and then I just run through the hairs that I do have and kind of push them up and over because that's the look I like. Again, this is going to be a little bit personal to whatever your brows look like and your preference, but that is actually the completed brow, and here's my transformation. So we go from absolutely no brows to some brows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you liked it, and I will see you next time.